James Joel was an English historian, most known for his alternate views on the causes of World War One. What was alternate about his views was the fact that they shifted the blame off direct countries and leaders and onto the impersonal factors that caused the war.
Before we plunge into the history written by Joel, we need to understand a little about who he was. Joel was born in Bristol, England in 1918, attending Oxford University for a small period of time before leaving to join the British Army. He eventually worked in special operations and returned to Oxford after the war ended. He became a professor and published many books on 18th to 19th century history before his death in 1994.
Joel's obituary, written by historian Sir Michael Howard, summed up his views on history excellently. The obituary states, he firmly believed that history was made up by people rather than by dispassionate forces, but he also believes that one could not understand why people act as they do, unless one also understands the influences that molded their minds.
This quote speaks about Joel's tendency to move the blame onto dispassionate and impersonal forces. He says that even though many factors that led to July crisis and the First World War come personal forces, especially the leaders of the major countries, yet he argues that they did not have much choice in their situation.
Our textbook includes a table outlining Joel's views, but the example we will be showing first is Chapter 1 of his book, The Origins of the First World War. The chapter focuses mainly on the July crisis, which took place in the final months before the war, and includes the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. We'll be using this chapter as a case study.
Austria-Hungary felt contempt towards Serbia after their own king in line was assassinated by a Serb. This assassination was an opportunity Austria-Hungary had been waiting for, an excuse to attack Serbia. Austria-Hungary had a chance to hold complete control of authority in the Balkans. However, Russia loomed above the tense relations. Austria-Hungary had to consider that Russia could support Serbia in the event of war against Austria-Hungary.
As the political conflict between Austria-Hungary and Serbia started heating up, Germany, Austria-Hungary's ally, advocated Austria-Hungary fully, causing Serbia to ask for help from other nations. Germany, eager to gather more colonies because of Weltpolitik, started to bring other nations into conflicts, snowballing the situation. The miscommunication and ideas between the nations occurred continuously, causing tension among many nations.
As of the conflict between Austria-Hungary and Serbia, Joel argued that changed government in Serbia began to worry Emperor Franz Joseph. With the support of the nationalists who wanted to expand the frontier of Serbia, the new Serbian government was getting more powerful and more dangerous. In order to colonize Serbia and expand their territory, Austria-Hungary took the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand as an excuse to invade Serbia. Joel is arguing that imperialism that Austria-Hungary is the main cause of the conflict between Serbia and them.
Alliances played a crucial part in bringing every authoritative nation into this disaster, as every major nation was divided into two groups, the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente. The war was almost inevitable when Austria-Hungary got into conflict with Serbia during the July crisis. As Germany was an avid supporter of Austria-Hungary, Germany was pushing Austria-Hungary to invade Serbia, as Germany was staying true to their own policy, Weltpolitik. Germany started bringing in other empires, as he wanted to take their colonies and expand the empire. So when Germany declared war on Russia and France, it was obvious that Great Britain would be involved in this conflict.
The textbook included in this course covers James Joel as a historian briefly on page 34. We thought it would be interesting to analyze the table provided in this summary. The table shows on one side personal forces and on the other impersonal forces. These forces are critical in the cause of World War I and the way James Joel thought about that history. The table places them in competition with each other.
On the personal side of the table, there is expansionist aims, war plans, and calculated decisions. These are listed under personal aims. On the other side lies capitalism, international anarchy, and alliances. These are listed under impersonal aims. Joel believes impersonal aims are more to blame. We will find out now if this is true.
Kaiser Wilhelm II takes the reign from Wilhelm I in 1888, having a very different attitude leading compared to his predecessor. He brought expansion aim to Germany with Weltpolitik, wanting colonies and overseas power. This contributed to causing World War I, because for Germany to claim colonies, it would have taken land off other European nations, which made the other powers uneasy.
Capitalism was emerging in Europe. This is listed as an impersonal example on the table, mainly for the reason that capitalism is a common way of thinking. For a country to practice capitalism, many different people have to feel similarly.
Germany, the new nation in dominant countries, was craving for colonies, yet too many countries and lands were already taken by old empires and nations, such as Great Britain and France. In order to gain more colonies, Germany had Weltpolitik to encourage their imperialism, and in order to take colonies from others, war was inevitable for them. This was the same case for Austria-Hungary, as they wanted to colonize Serbia and prevent the rise of independent states in the Balkans.
In international relations, anarchy is the concept of not having a leader. Before World War I, there was no international committee that voted and decided on world decisions. This was pretty much international anarchy. Had there been a United Nations back then, all hostile relations between countries would be monitored and diffused by other countries.
As Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated by Gavrilo Princip, Austria-Hungary was raised as their next emperor was assassinated, yet they had other thoughts too. As Austria-Hungary had eyes on Serbia to colonize and suppress ideas of independent states, they took this as a chance to invade Serbia. For Germany, they declared blank check so that the other alliances, especially the Triple Entente, would show themselves.
The table lists alliances as an impersonal factor. Alliances intertwined nations and played a very large part in causing World War II. Germany was most affected by them because of the surrounding Franco-Russian alliance, also known as the Dual Alliance. The reason they are counted as impersonal on the table is because countries make alliances to look after themselves. Russia and France made an alliance after Germany became an increased threat. They did not do it to cause a world war.
James Joe definitely has a unique voice compared to what other historians propose. He loves to link the cause of World War I with impersonal forces, and we agree that impersonal forces played a part in starting the First World War. The alliance system created by 6 major nations created and intensified nations between empires, even during the July crisis. The alliance system played a major role. For Germany, for example, it showed the world that they were in full support of Austria-Hungary with blank check, and this gave Austria-Hungary power and courage to take this opportunity and invade Serbia.
A few men did not cause World War I. Gavrilo Princip, assassin of Franz Ferdinand, did not start World War I. Countries simply responded to the European political climate at the time, staying true to their alliances and defending their own country. Although policies like world politics were the result of personal aim, the countries affected by it reacted according to what was best for them.
However, we believe that although the war was in part caused by impersonal forces, personal forces also played a large part in causing World War I. For example, the instatement of Kaiser Wilhelm II and his policy of world politics were the key in causing World War I.